Bastard is our newest 90s film that is with 2022 technology. So this is a Norwegian film, and there's just something out of place with this movie like throughout, but it's not just because I watched it in dubbed and like obviously the voice syncs are not quite right and probably the line delivery doesn't really pay off, but it felt like one of those 90s films where you would have sort of sat down in the 90s, early 2000s and been like, yeah, that was a pretty fun ride. I look at the transitions, look at the guys, you know, shooting laser tag, but the whole story gets pretty ridiculous real quick. Like, we have our two sort of childhood friends who are laser tag like prodigies, and they're in the news and stuff, and one's gone on about his life and sort of really developed into his own. He's getting married and it's setting up for his buck show, where the other one has sort of stayed in that realm and never really grown up, but still focusing on the laser tag. So he's like still playing laser tag and not really progressing forward in his life. Like, he's still going and coaching or like hosting parties for people who are playing laser tag, which is generally not the demographic of where he should be. But if that's what brings him happiness, that's fine. We're presented into absolute chaos as soon as they go on to our bachelor party. Like, the group of lads that sort of get together, they do have good chemistry. Like, they are bouncing lines off each other, where I feel like if I listened to it in their sort of native tongue, where if I could actually understand it, it would have been better, rather than seeing the dub sort of English version, which sort of was hit and miss because I could hear the line a little bit later and didn't match the mouth, and then obviously they would react. But I feel like it would have been funnier if they were actually listening it to in its actual proper language that they're delivering, where a few of the guys have some really like animated facial expressions, which were a little bit odd. I'm not sure if they were going for the over like Jim Carrey kind of presentation, but it felt odd. Like, it would have just been better to see the banter between the actual group of guys that are off and about. But as soon as they sort of meet the aliens and they work out how to sort of develop and sort of deal with this coming their way, where it all comes back to laser tag. Like, it's ridiculous. It is fun, but it goes for a little bit long. Like, after about the hour mark, I was like, I'm pretty much done with this film. But there's like another 30 minutes, the 40 minutes of this film of seeing them just get more and more ridiculous in terms of how they're dealing with the alien goo, where they could have wrapped this up. They probably could have introduced the aliens a little bit earlier and introduced them to the point where they had like the woo kind of slow-mos where they're twirling around, they got the guns, they're shooting, and like that was kind of cool where they're actually fully into the action. But it's just the payoff at the end wasn't worth it, like when you actually get to see the big bad. But then when they all come together, like, it all wraps up nicely. You're not going to stay with this film and think, yeah, that was a fantastic ride. Like, it's okay, you're going to sit down and have a little bit of a laugh here and there, but it's not great. I can't recommend this Netflix film. They've done it better. It just feels out of place. It's more of that sort of early 2000s sort of, if you actually went into a video store, like if you were around with Blockbuster and stuff, where you go in and it would be straight to video, like, you would probably look at it and you go, well, is it worth $6 for an overnight rental? Probably not. You might look at it for the $3 a weekly or that weekly deal and watch it at some random time when you got nothing else to do. So it's not great. Let me know if you've seen it or if you're going to watch it. And yeah, put that in the comments. You know what to do. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and tell your friends.